Rave it, baby.
You smomed?
Oh yeah, no, you.
It's gotten to where we spend so much time together, I can hear it in your voice now.
Yeah,
It's weird when you get like that with people that you love and like, but it's weird when you get like that with people that you don't. You don't hate, but like you're like, God, why do I know this person I don't even want to know so much?
yeah, yeah, man. But then again, then you guys like have a good breakfast or something, and then you know what I mean. There's lots
yeah.
of different ones. So it's like men that.
Yeah, she can cook, dude. My mother-in-law can cook. But I mean, like that's I do know her. You know what I mean at this point.
Oh, you know her like that? Yes, yes, yes.
And
Oh,
like,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know exactly what I know what you're saying.
well, we're talking about family, basically.
Right,
Like
yeah,
you were like family, where you get to know somebody beyond, like you know them intimately. I don't mean sexually, but intimately.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I look at the list of people I know intimately, and I'm like, that's crazy that that's who it is. Like, there's some real bright spots on here, but okay. Well, we already started. I don't know when you started recording, but to catch people up, I was commenting on how I could tell whether or not DJ has enjoyed marijuana based upon the tenor of his voice, and then we were talking about how you get like that with some people where you just know them super well, but it's not always like it like that to me is kind of what family is. But sometimes like you know people really well, maybe you work with them for a decade.
Yeah,
You didn't choose, nor were you even born into knowing them that well.
yeah,
And I was saying, and I think this caught up, but like the list of people that I know that intimately is wild. There's like bright spots like yourself and my wife and Carmen, and then there's like other people where I'm like, I can't believe I know this person that well.
yeah. I can't believe that this human being, like, in no other situation, somehow this person and me have an intimate, like a deeply intimate relationship where, like, I can actually, you could vibe off a motherfucker. Like, just like you could feel them, what mood that they're in and like what's going on with that.
And it's wild when that's not blood relation or someone you chose. I mean, I guess work is probably the most common place.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you end up with a work wife and stuff?
Yeah, but I feel like that's chosen at least sometimes, right? Like a work wife to me is like, oh, they work 4 offices down, but I like walking into their room. But what about when you're just like, but yes, that is a good example. You know how there's like people coming, like it's a finite list of people where you just know, like you can tell what mood they're in. You can tell whether or not they got enough sleep. And it's like, I was just thinking like, okay, I chose kind of to know DJ that way. There's other people I didn't choose to know that way, but I do. Kind of intimate against my will.
How? How do you get non-consensually that close to someone?
Usually family, right?
Work, family.
Yeah.
And the other one's work.
I'm sure people in church, people that have like church relationships with people, sports probably really.
Oh, dude. An athletic team. I mean, we like college football. Part of the reason it's so like toxic is like you throw all the normal things you hear that are true: homophobia, toxic masculinity, people with inferiority, and then on top of that, we're like nude around each other.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you got that large group of men with those problems, and then you force them to get naked, yeah, dude, it's gonna be some weirdness.
yeah. Community work, doing work in your community, especially like if you're focused on doing something, it's somebody that you're with and you're working with, it like has like some ideas that aren't quite fleshed out yet, really, or whatever. Maybe contrary to your own position. That's weird. That's always weird.
I think it takes years though. Sometimes it's just like, damn, I'm around this person too many hours in the week. But sometimes it's like, no, I've known them for years.
But that's what I've noticed with like community work. It's like, especially if you're doing something, you end up like trying to do something within like a certain amount of months, but you're around each other every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Or you end up on like and I'm not talking about like being in like just like oh this motherfucker again, but like you get to know them in like this really weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like being in a play with someone because it's like intense contact for like a few months, and then usually everybody's separated off into like different projects and shit like that. So it's also like you have this weird, intense, emotional like connection because you're with people like not just every day, but set like all of the day. So I feel like you get to see people and observe them in a way that's like that normal people don't get to see them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I've ever trauma bonded with anyone who isn't family, but I bet when you trauma bond with someone who's not family, that's part of the surrealness of it all.
I mean, I think that's why it works so good for these fuck boys. That's why trauma bonding's the fucking, you want to get in there as soon as you can because that's what gets people vulnerable the quickest.
I didn't even think about weaponizing it. I didn't even think about weaponizing it. Dude, that's some next level shit. And I guess this is, it should be obvious. This is why people hate them so much. But it's like, that's so gross, dirty, and manipulative, and pussy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's
yes.
You can't just be a regular womanizer, dude. You can't just lie to a bride like a regular ass dude.
Right.
You gotta set up this trauma bond. You can't just.
Well, these goddamn women's been wising up.
I always thought this is sort of related to that, like women wising up. The first time we heard Dave Chappelle speak so positively of that book written by that pimp, we all should have been like, wait a minute. His favorite book is Machiavelli for Black Men in America. Like, literally, that's what that is. That book is Machiavelli just in terms of being Black in America. And I can understand why that's like something to aspire to when you're 20.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But when you're 45, if you're still trying to be a pimp, well, I mean, he's also, I mean, we don't have to get into this, but he's also
Slim, right?
I think that was it. Yeah.
Just trying to be a pimp. I mean, it literally is like a step-by-step how to do.
I'm talking about Chappelle. I think the reason you still like it at 45 is because you didn't grow up in a struggle. He's a suburb kid. He's like, he didn't grow up in that. So it's all to him. That's still very cool. The struggle is cool because he never had to go through it.
That's know. I want to get back to this intimacy thing because that's really what we're talking about. It's like knowing someone intimately, and I think that word gets conflated with sexual a lot, but I don't mean that. I was thinking about this interview I did. I guess it was from somewhere in Knoxville. Oh my God. My mother-in-law just texted me. I am stuck in the barn. I've got to go. I'll be back with the report in a moment.
Talk about intimacy, right?
I think that's kind of how we got started, actually.
I think shit like this is what ends up getting people. That's how people end up getting intimate with someone they were unexpected, when there's like some sort of thing that happens to everyone. You know what I'm talking about? Like they have this is an arbitrary example, but like, you know, they have like Dead Dads Club where everybody that has a dead dad comes and they're all like, oh, we all have dead dads together. And that's like a I think that's like an intimate in the sense that it's a vulnerability everyone is familiar with. Therefore, we are all the same because we've all had this same thing happen to us. Does that make sense?
I mean, I've never heard of anything like that, but I mean, I guess I hope so. I mean, maybe that's what AA is too. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe that's why AA works for people.
I think that's what pushes it over to the cult side, is because there is an intimacy, like, you know, especially in all those groups, you're like, there's this forced vulnerability. Like that's the whole thing. And that's the whole point of it. And not to shit on it. It's very effective. But I think that forced vulnerability, like, also increases the amount of intimacy for people who are in that room when you're vulnerable, you know? Does that make sense at all?
I mean, that could be it. I've never, my whole thing is like, get the fuck away from me. Like, I can't imagine. I can't wait till this is over. Like, I can't imagine having a work wife, dude. Like, if I'm eating lunch and somebody even tries to like come into my space while I'm sitting there, I don't give a fuck. No, get the fuck away from me. You are not going to ruin my fucking lunch by talking about some bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
I feel like that's different. That's chit chat. What if somebody came in with something interesting that
no, ain't nobody
they
got that thing. Okay, come on. And don't nobody got shit to talk about. No, ain't nobody talking about shit. They ain't fucking, you know what I mean? Or at least not that I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, I mean, I hate to be like that. No, I don't. Like, right now, I am watching Simpsons. Listen, right now, there are like 4 finches in my sunflowers doing all kind of fucking rad ass tricks and fucking they flip around and they get the seeds and like they do it so many. There's butterflies over here on my torch flowers. Like, if you ain't bringing that type of energy, which nobody is.
What if they got acrobatics and a hot new theory? Maybe that they're just the right kind of insane. They don't.
They don't. I had one person at my work who I kind of thought maybe was on the level. You know what I mean? It didn't take like a week for me to be like, nah, we're done. We're done talking.
Is it just because it's boring?
And I just don't have any time for it. I don't have any time or no patience for it. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't explain to somebody like where the promise software. I can't explain like where I'm at compared to like in my head where someone else is, and I'm not gonna be someone's vent. You know what I'm saying? For whatever whatever is going on, whatever made them mad on the internet or some shit like that. I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna be that person.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So how was it?
Did you save her?
Yeah, it was, and I'm grateful for this. Uneventful in the sense of like pretty stuck situation. I'm looking because I'm gonna pull up a picture for you guys because I took one, of course, because she was fine. First question I asked is, "Are you hurt?" She's like, "No." And I was like, "All right, I'm coming." So she had backed the truck up as close as she could to the door. Do you see the hayloft? You see the hayloft up high?
Shit. Oh yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
So she had the close. She got the truck close so she could knock a piece of that bale of hay out of the hayloft into the truck, but it missed. It just went down in between the truck and against the only door, unless she jumped out, and she's not of the right age to be jumping out of the hayloft.
Yeah,
into the back of the truck. And her,
you saved her. There's some forced intimacy right there. When someone saves you, that's how you get Florence Nightingale syndrome. That's how you get Stockholm syndrome. If you get captured, I mean that's the whole thing. Is fuck, if there's nobody to be intimate with, I guess you.
There you go, dude.
What intimacy?
There you go, dude.
DJ was talking about being an intimate repellent, how he don't want no chit chat. He doesn't want a work wife sounds like hell to him. He doesn't want any of that.
Yeah, I've always respected the people at work who kind of operate like that. But I found out in, I would say, semi-corporate America, just like being a public defender, that's not even a place where like sucking up to the boss leads to a big promotion and you get a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's like kind of standard money. Even without money, though, there's like, obviously, there's like made up status. I found out kind of just being on my own, it made people hate me. Like, not everybody, but I found out a lot of people in the office if you don't give them the information they want, they're going to fill it in with whatever. And if they have a decent opinion of you, they're going to fill it in with positive stuff. And you're going to be way better of a person than you actually are. But if they have a negative opinion of you, you're actually going to be a monster by the time they're done with imagining what you are.
Yeah, because either way, their imagination's popping off. Because our brains look for an answer no matter what.
I had this joke about Brian a couple of times. My buddy Brian, I love Brian. He's a great man. He is not, I mean, he's like, it sounds like I'm insulting. I'm not. But he's not what many women think he is because he's quiet. And then like a woman will get to know him and they'll be talking to me about him later and I'll be like, oh, you think this dude like is James Bond?
Yeah, the mysterious.
But like, this is crazy. Like, it's wild.
I don't know what it's
more than
actually
men.
called. It's called the dialogue effect. Most of the characters that we see in movies, like in film, and books and stuff like that, the less amount of dialogue they have, the more we project how we feel onto them. So, like, that's why in every John Wick movie, he's so mysterious and interesting. But if he was a Kevin Smith movie, you'd be like, shut the fuck up and get back to shooting and tumbling.
Right. And it's also like John Wick is like saving his dog and you know he's the good guy. And like Brian has really good vibes. So people are filling in the blanks with more and more positive things.
Mhm.
Whereas if you have kind of a surly vibe, hello, they're filling in the blank. I've found out people think things about me that I'm like, I don't care if you think I have a big ego or what. No human should think that I am what that person thinks that I am. Like they just literally don't know anything about me. It's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, in the bigger things, that's how you get into, like ignorant racism. You get into ignorant homophobia because people start, they either hear a thing and then they start making all the other shit up.
Yeah, but that's fun. As long as you're aware of it, it's fun to do. When it doesn't become racism or homophobia, then that's unfun.
Okay. The racism is fun? You're saying you're making
I
stuff
said
up,
that's
making stuff up.
unfun. I said that's unfun. I'm saying that if you're conscious of the fact that you're doing it, it is fun. It's like people watching and you see somebody and then you just write a whole story for them. If you're conscious of it and you're not like actually taking that with you, taking it to heart, that is fun to do. I get why people do it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. That was one of my favorite things about being on the road and eating by myself is listening and then creating an entire narrative.
The road is a place, dude. The road is a place to get to know somebody.
That's true. That's another example. Because again, that's a tiny play all weekend. That's a tiny forest. You're going through the same exact experience. Nobody else is experiencing this but you.
Yeah, I think I once said, this is what I was talking about earlier, the interview, and I said I think it was for a Knoxville show. It was like a well-read reunion or whatever. There was like a moment for years where I think I knew Corey and Trey more than I knew my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly spent more time with them. And like, I'm not sure that's good. I'm serious.
I don't know.
It's like men. First of all, it's all men. You know what I mean? It's going to shape you.
Sure. I mean, it definitely shaped me. So I only hung out with men for fucking 10, 15 years.
And they're comedians.
Yep, the worst kind of men. You know how much unlearning I had to do once I got to Los Angeles where I could talk to other women? So much. So much.
It's gravy. It's gravy, guys.
I just got back from Philadelphia and I went to the old ECW arena. They were having like a vintage flea market. So everything there was like curated. Like they had a bunch of old polo shit, old shit. I got this fucking old Gallagher t-shirt.
Has it got a watermelon on it?
He's smashing it literally. Wrong titty. He's smashing it literally.
Damn, you pointed at the wrong titty.
I know. It's because the camera is backwards, so I had to. Yeah.
Well, that's a great shirt. First of all, second of all, go ahead.
I love Philadelphia. I didn't know.
It's rad.
Turns out they like to fight and read, and man, that is a sweet overlapping part of a Venn diagram. That is a sweet snatch part.
Yeah, I've always said Philly's almost as good as Pittsburgh, but with more going on. And I mean, and that's a real sweet spot.
It's better than Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh they don't fight as much. Yeah.
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 But, sure.
They're also like Diet Ohio a little bit.
Pittsburgh.
But yeah. Yeah. It's on the other side. It's right next to Ohio. It's like less than an hour away from Ohio.
It's West Virginia. I dare you to call West Virginia Ohio diet. Call West Virginia diet anything. I'll pull up.
West Virginia hates Ohio so much they'll never be that. That's the difference.
Okay.
West Virginia wants desperately not to be the Midwest, so they will act as such. So that I feel like there's a hard line there. There's not a hard line between those two states, maybe mentality wise, but the further west you go in Pennsylvania, the less, I mean, Philly specifically. There's also a lot of black people in Philly, and there's not a lot of black people in Pittsburgh. So it's kind of like the Atlanta effect where you can't. I mean, I'd love to see you try to be racist in Philadelphia because the whites will kick you up, beat you up.
I didn't realize, I guess from the parts I've been to, I didn't realize that Pittsburgh was that white.
Mm.
It hasn't been in my admittedly
In comparison to Philadelphia, yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay. Oh, well, sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't know that's what you meant. I thought you meant it was a very white town.
No, I just mean white in comparison to Philadelphia.
Well, sure. Fucking, there's probably places in Nigeria that would lose that one.
But to go to your point about the intimacy, yes, I did a show with a bunch of people. Now, one of the people that I did a show with, I'm staying at their home. In no other context would you meet someone and 3 days later you're opening your home up to them. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different.
Especially at our age, we're aging out of that. I remember when I was 24, I would often sleep in a place and wake up and just like, damn, I'm in a stranger's house. Cool.
Same. Well, I mean, part of that is our crumbling infrastructure, our crumbling economy, because that was the thing when there was like 5 years where I didn't do it, and I started going back out again. I was like, maybe I'll just old road dog it and die like the dinosaurs did. But that's not even a fucking option, dog, because nobody's got a couch. They got a family on their couch. They don't have the means. There's no guest rooms anymore. They got to rent out the guest room.
I know. And then it's also for me too. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get my own room. And then I do that 3 nights in a row, and I do the math, and I'm like, oh, I'm not actually making a living. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to get into. This intimacy thing is interesting because it's like don't you think we outsource that to the internet, and that's one thing that's wrong with us? Like, it's not fun to know someone so well that you didn't choose to, but I do think it's human too. Does that make sense?
Sure, I think that's how people mistake parasocial relationships for real ones, because they're
They don't have
observing.
real ones?
Maybe, or they're just observing you every day. Think about how much you have to make content. You have to connect with people on the internet. I mean, that's how people in the comments have been like, girl, you're going through something, like been able to pick up on shit that's happening in some, you know what I'm saying? I think it's probably happened to you.
Yes, and it's weird when they're wrong because you're like, what the fuck are you talking? Get out of my life. You don't know me. It's weirder when they're right.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's the intimacy part is when they're right. When they're wrong, it's just what we were talking about. It's them projecting, putting things together, being imaginative. But when they're right, it's they're acutely observing you. And what makes it unsettling is you're not acutely observing them back. You see what I mean? Because then it just feels like you're a specimen. You're fucking the caveman in the Natural History Museum.
Yeah. What do you think, DJ?
Well, I tell you, brother, it's hard to say. We're here trying to live our life.
I don't know, DJ. I feel like drugs is another thing that makes people into it. I imagine people that you did some hardcore drugs with that you didn't know that well. No.
Dude, you think no, dude, that's the opposite. I was
interesting.
I was just talking about this the other day about like Hunter Biden, because like I think he's gonna be the Joe Rogan of the left. If he gets a podcast, right, he is going to be what the left, quote unquote, deliver whatever Joe Rogan, meaning that he's gonna be able to he's a propagandist. You know what I'm saying? He's a propagandist for the section of the whatever. And I was thinking about like how much like I would like love to smoke crack with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And somebody said something about trusting him, and it was like, I've never smoked crack with somebody I've trusted. It's like, how many things you take? What do you think? Who do you think's out here? That's fine. That's not how that goes. Nobody.
But I think you could be intimate with someone without trusting them.
I don't see how that's possible. Not for me personally. Maybe for y'all. Like, dude, seriously, I don't have that. I do get intimate with people who I know and who I have who I, have personal, genuine relationship, I do get to that point. But other than that, it's just not like that.
I think I hear you, but I also think that sometimes in a work setting, I don't know about a drug setting, I don't know. But in a work setting, I do think it can happen against your will, just in a sense of like, or like maybe prison, where it's like, no, I didn't let you into my life, but you can still feel me. Like you can still read me. You know my what is it?
Idiosyncrasies.
Idiosyncrasies. Thank you. The idiot ones.
Dude, prison, listen, prison is all about flux. Coming in, you're going out, you're moving, everybody's going, you move dorms, you're moving like prison to prison, you're coming into prison,
Right.
you leaving prison. Everybody's there faking it. There's nobody there being real. It's everybody.
I get that.
Everybody's a hustler. Everybody's a fucking liar. Everybody's like putting up a front. Everybody's period. You're not getting intimate with anybody.
Right.
I had the same roommate for like 7 years, and like we I got up in the morning, went to laundry or whatever. Fucking, he went and did his shit, and then, put towel up when you had to shit. Period. I mean, that was it.
Right. I get that, but I do have to assume, and maybe I'm wrong, because I feel like maybe we're just disagreeing on what intimacy means here. I do have to assume you know things about how he is that I and most people don't. And I guess that's what I'm getting onto. With like
they know that they're lying, or they know that they're
Yeah, you'd be able to pick up on all that shit.
And also, right, and then also just like what his snore sounds like. And I guess that's what I sum it with forced intimacy with work. Like I've been in work situations with someone, and I've never worked at a place more than like 7-8 years, so I never got to that like 20-year version of this. But I've definitely like worked with people. My old trial partner Jimmy, we're like, I knew if Jimmy had gone out the night before. I'm not telling you I knew anything about Jimmy. I mean, I ended up getting to know him, but like, I just knew when he, it was like being married. It was like fucking being married, where you're just like, but you didn't choose it. It's just interesting, I think.
Yeah. I think maybe DJ just ain't observing people like that.
I think he is. He's just not calling it intimacy, and he may be correct to do that. I might be using the word wrong.
I mean, when I think about intimate, I think of something that is something genuine. I think of like a genuine connection. I think of something that is like something that is personal. That is very much like that's all. It's the only two best words that I can think of right now is a genuine and personal knowledge of a person.
Yeah, and I guess I'm just thinking about ways that you can genuinely know a person that have less to do with like them opening up to you and more to do with just being in proximity.
Keen observation. Yeah, because there's like a when I worked at a call center, there was a chick, and I didn't know her. We were not friends, but I worked with her so long. I knew when she got a check. I knew when she got laid. You could just tell by the person. You know what I'm saying? You could just over time, you just passively observe this person to a way where you could start. I mean, pattern recognition, dog. We all got it.
I guess intimacy when I think of intimacy, requires some sort of fundamental relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I reject. Like when I go into work, it's all about talking shit. We're all talking shit. We fucking talking shit to each other. That's it. That's where it ends. That's where it starts. So I observe what they are, how they work in that way, what their delivery is, like what I can say to get under their skin. I genuinely know what they're going to say to me, how they're going to behave like that. But I don't find that intimate. I just find that just.
Someone has a bit, or there was a TV show that did it as a bit of like people who worked, it might have been The Office or something like that, like people who worked together for 15, 20 years, and then you go to their house and you've never been because you're not actually friends with the person, your coworkers, and you can't believe, this is, of course, stereotypically this happens with men more because we don't talk about this sort of stuff, right? That's like the stereotype, like you had no idea, you can't believe what their wife is like. You can't believe what their house looks like because meaning to or not, you created a little backstory for this person, consciously or not, and then the backstory's way off, and you're like, I don't even know this guy. And then you're like, oh, right, I don't know this guy.
Yeah, I think maybe it isn't the word intimate, but I think another good example of this would be like when you're a kid and you see your teacher outside of school. You spend so much time with this person. You spend so much time with this
Carmen.
person. You think you know this person, and then you see them outside. Like when my professor Conti, when I saw him outside, like he played golf, like that, the most uncoordinated weirdo I've ever met in my life. He plays any kind of sport. Like
Watch
so
my
much
sport,
of it was
hobby.
what. Not, you know, I'm just saying, it was bizarre to me to see him do anything even remotely. That was athletic for him, is what I'm saying.
I gotta be
Like,
honest, I was like over this topic and was trying to figure out how to change the subject, but now you've brought me so back in because now we're talking about context, which is a slightly different topic. But what about you if they're in your life, it's hard to be more intimate than you are with your parents growing up. They see you naked, you see them naked, you live with them. And when you're younger, they control your life, and then there's give and take. And then at some point, they stop, like they let the guard down, and or you're mature enough to see them as a human, not just your parent. And it's kind of like the teacher thing outside of school. When you like learn certain things about your parent, you're like, what?
yeah, when they start talking to you like an adult, and you're like, okay, all right,
Nancy?
Auntie, I didn't know you had a fucking hoe phase. All right.
It's always so wild. It's so wild. You think you know a person.
Okay, that's grand theft. All right, I didn't know.
Okay, that's grand theft. That's a good tag. That's a good tag. Put that in something, Carmen. Speaking of Carmen, I found a reference I assumed to you that was positive. Here's a gravy. You were talking about being in Philly. You were in Philly opposite the Shane Gillis record-breaking comedy show.
I was. There were people that went to that show that came to the show we were on, and I'm not gonna lie, more than one person said that our show was better.
So someone on Reddit was saying that, and they were talking about how, were you the only lady on Ron's show?
No, there's two of us.
Well, one of you really impressed someone on Reddit. I don't know who it was.
Oh,
And they didn't talk shit about the other one. I just assumed it. Anyway, they were just like saying, well, I went to the Ron Punches show the next night or the night before, or whatever, and it was way better. Particularly the damn openers, and blah 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 blah.
Oh, well, that's nice. Thank you, random person on Reddit.
So not just your show was better, you were, we're going to say it was you. There's a 50-50 chance it was you. Were the best out of, all 9 of those acts over the course of the weekend, according to one Redditor. According to one Redditor in Philadelphia, you might have 50-50. The more I explain it, it's like, honestly, it wasn't even you.
What, DJ?
Dude, I caught like, number one, you shouldn't do comedy in a place that big. Like, it's crazy. Like, I appreciate the world record, but like, just like seeing clips of it, it was like, oh shit, dude, this sounds awful. Like the echo, the fucking, dude, it just sounds awful.
Yeah.
But then I had this thought, man. Like, I was like, dude, this is it, right? This like that whole thing for, I guess, like for this whole situation, like we're seeing it like top out, and then it's like it's done. It's like it's over. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it seemed like it seemed very much like, oh, this is how it ends. Like, this is the end of this.
Or changes into like a new thing, right? Like in 5 years, there will either be no arena comedy shows, or they're going to have to be something more than 5 dudes saying slurs. It'll be like music comedy, or do you know what I'm saying? Like,
so many people are doing that now. So many people are doing the variety shows now. That's
part. Got 150,000 fucking people there.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be more of a spectacle. Our art form was never meant to be there.
Because it's got to be intimate. I'm sorry to be corny and bringing it back, but like it's true. It really is a medium in which you have to make it feel like we're having a conversation. Otherwise, the tension isn't being built, and then I can't break it.
Well, that's one of the things that I realized, like one of the reasons why I thought it was just like so over. I was like, these are people who are coming to see comedy. Like, they might be fans of Shane or whatever, but like, and I'm not saying like, dude, I mean, I think Louis' last special, which wasn't his greatest, was still better than anything that fucking I've seen Shane Gillis do. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's just saying, like, you blow up too fast. There's too many people there ready to hand you a check, especially if you can catch that niche. You know what I'm saying? It's all a matter of like time, place.
Also a rich kid. So
I mean, yes, but like at the same time, it's not like he's not talented. Do you know what I'm saying?
Obvious.
Yeah. At the right place at the right time. I mean, you can't like. There's a lot of different caveats you can say, but you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like right place, right time. Fucking, have some modicum of talent, but it's not the same type of talent that you saw from even like a Richard Jennings or somebody like that back.
Oh, I love Richard Jennings.
Of course, dude, he was a fucking great comic.
So good.
Comedy at its fucking, which I guarantee like a lot of people don't even know what we're talking about right now. But like,
but I think that's cool. I think that's really genuinely. I think it's cool that people are going, who? Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So he's been like, his legacy has been turned to Swiss cheese. So many people have stolen from Richard Jennings. I mean, the whole left versus right thing, that was Richard Jennings. Right. He never gets the fucking credit for it when he's making fun of the extremes. Right. He's never in the conversation, but he was the one.
Yeah, he was the one.
He was the one that did it. He was the one that was going, hey, you guys are doing the same thing in opposite directions. I mean, I think most recently I saw Chad Daniels do a version of it, but it was like Richard Jennings never gets the fucking credit he deserves for being. There's so many things he said. Who was the first person to say it? Because if you watch him now, it'll be like, oh, everybody says it. Yes, everybody stole from this man. It's kind of like street jokes and fucking Milton Berle getting all the credit for it.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're really in the comedy weeds. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I know. Like my autism's flaring up because I want to be like, okay, let's talk about Portland though. Also, let's go over to Great Britain and let's observe, but anyway.
Yeah, Stuart Lee. Absolutely. Stuart Lee is going to brilliant.
Autism's flaring up. Yeah. You want to talk about white men not getting the credit we deserve from it. And it's a good point you're making about that, actually. I've been waiting on
Somebody's finally saying it.
Why are you finally saying? I think.
Do you think about all the great British shows, like the sitcoms, like the Peep Show, Michelin Web Show, all of their stuff that they did, fucking the young ones when it first came out, like, dude. Anyways,
I never crowd. It crowd might not be great, but it invented a whole genre of things that now everyone's doing. Sorry.
Yep. Right. No, you're right. And well, I guess it also like I just haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything come out of this like whole Netflix comedy generation of comedy that was even remotely compared to that. And I think a lot of it has to do with work, like you're given everything so fast, and then it blows up, and now you are a spectacle. You are the spectacle, and that's all anybody. And that's like the what you're doing doesn't matter. I'm not saying anything suffers for it or not. I'm just saying it's run its course.
I think the comedian suffers because they don't give it. The whole point is your thoughts. And if you don't give enough time, because you're working so much, if you don't get enough time to think, baby, they're going to just ring you out. I mean, they did it with Ralph Barbosa. Ralph Barbosa has a great mind, and they wrung that young motherfucker out for everything, was touring him his ass till he couldn't fucking think anymore, dude. Like, because they want the money, because they don't care about it anymore. We all know that. We're all in this.
Here's a counterexample with mixed results. But genuinely, outside of To Pimp a Butterfly and maybe King Kunta, which is incredible in my opinion, I think the greatest thing Kendrick Lamar has done is made it in rap where like you don't have to be in an algorithm and put an album out every year. Like he like genuinely has just like aside from the work that he's doing, by doing that, he's showing younger rappers like, hey man, don't do that. And then, of course, he sacrificed all that with that rap beef, but that was clearly like precise. Like that was pre-planned. That was the most premeditated thing that I've ever seen, because people don't think about this, but Kendrick Lamar has 5 albums, and there was like a 5-year gap between 2 and a 3-year gap, and there was no features in the
It's old Burr. Burr used to be like, I'm not doing an hour every year because I'm not done thinking in a year.
I bring him up because I do it too much. But yes, because going back to what DJ said, Burr said something I thought was great. He said, Yeah, you do Madison Square Garden for yourself, no one else, for your ego, one time. It will do nothing. He said you do it one time, and it's just to feed your ego because it's so cool that he goes, and it's cool, but it has nothing to do with what we do.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I think that's why there was no way, even, I mean, I appreciate the compliment. It felt nice to hear it, but there's no way that anyone going to an arena show would have an experience that you get at a club. There's no way, you know? And not only that, but sure, you can sell it out when you're selling like $20 tickets.
You're not a fan of the comedy.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not a fan of the comedy.
The room.
You're a fan.
Yeah.
That's been happening, and we've been talking about it. We've been.
I think you're right, DJ. I think there are people that do like comedy because why would they be at a Shane Gillis show and a Ron Funches show? Like those two don't have a lot of overlap.
Weeds, but let me get us out of it for a second.
Okay.
This is pervasive in our culture. Very few people are a fan of Donald Trump's policies. They barely know what the fuck they are. They are a fan of Donald Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
This is happening across the board. They're going to movies. Who's your favorite actor? Yeah, did you see that interview he did? We're guilty of it. Vince Staples. And I do love his album, but I love watching him on interviews.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
We have too much access to people, so it's got to the point where people who are good at that is who's succeeding. And every once in a while, they'll be good at both.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, and maybe 2 generations now, somebody will have figured out how to harness that, how to be the David Bowie of that. You know what I mean? Because David Bowie is one of the best musicians alive, and then also created the spaceman character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that is what's happening. We have too much access to everyone all the time that we are fans of what they're presenting, not of the work.
But that, to your point, that is why Kendrick is so good, because he rejects most of that. He goes, I don't want to participate in that. All my energy, my time, my thinking, my creativity goes into shit I want to make.
And then he did it. We can't say that without saying, and then he did one of the biggest examples of it we've ever seen, and it was rad. I liked it.
But to me, it was still all the art part. Sure, he thought about mean things about Drake for the last 20 fucking years prior. Yes. But again, that all goes back into the art. And he goes, I can't wait till this motherfucker says something to me and tries to trade. Like this was a plot. This is different. This is revenge, baby. This is going to be Mark. But he was like, I hate you so much. I'm going to take you down on your terms. Money, fame, people liking you, because that's what I know you care about. Like, to me, that's methodical and diabolical. That's the fucking difference. And artfully done. Because here's the thing is the art was still good, even through the spectacle. To be like, yeah, I can maintain my integrity too. I just don't want to do this shit. Like, to me, that was the biggest flex.
You heard it here, folks. The best comedian in Philadelphia, Carmen Morales.
Shut up. That's not true. This is a bunch of really good.
I'm just saying according to Pickle Monster 520. That's what I'm going by. Fucking Cisco bought the Michelin rating. So everything's for sale anyway. Why not? Why not Pickle Monster talk to me?
Cisco bought the Michelin rating? Like how poor is Michelin that you have to, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I don't fucking understand.
I think it was like part of a $10-20 billion deal. You know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, I'm sure there was somebody at the top who was like, yeah, dude, I'm tired of caring about restaurants. Give me 20 billion. I'm going to build a bunker.
None of it makes sense when they want the end to happen. It's fair.
It all makes sense when they either want the end to happen or that they've accepted that it will. And so why care about restaurants anymore?
I like them. I ain't got kids, so I like a restaurant. I be investing time in them and hoping they succeed and shit.
Shit, dog, I do got kids. That's why the restaurant better be good. We got a fucking babysitter here. Well, I like culture. I really do. I hate that we are at this point of it. But I also feel like there's a boomerang, you know, unless we all get nuked, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's DJ's plan.
Not my plan. It's not my plan. Bruh, anybody that doesn't believe that, I'm saying there's going to be a nuclear exchange as a thing, and it's going to change the
Exchange.
world. I'm serious, an
No, I know.
exchange between countries, and it's gonna radically change everything
Well,
to a fucking wild degree. But
the vote is in front of Congress right now whether or not we allow Saudi to enrich uranium. And even my understanding is even if Congress votes it down, Trump can push it through because of some act that has to do with energy. Since you can enrich uranium,
Non-proliferation act. But he has gone back on that and said that in order for them to do that, that they're going to have to sign the Abraham Accord. But like that's all just like I don't know what that is. All I'm saying is
you don't know what that is? I know what that is. I thought I want to get into this. It is a decades-long, billion upon billion-dollar project that the Saudis have done. In an attempt to join, quote unquote, the West. Like it was all about. They already have more money than God. This was the one thing that they didn't have. Yeah. And then you go back, why are they doing the Riyadh Comedy Festival? Well, they just want to do a cultural exchange with the West so they can get our comedians there because they love our dog. They don't give a fuck about our comedians, and they got more money than God. What do they want that they don't have? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta have to make them turn the air on in this house or I'm gonna get two.
But then what happens? then what happens if Saudi gets nuked? Then everybody gets nuked. But anyways, it's all changing over there. Anyways, the whole dynamic of that entire situation over there is changing so dramatically day by day. Like I don't even know. It's all fucked.
Well, and it'll be one of those things too. When it settles, a lot of people will go, "Oh, see, this is what the plan was," and it's like, "Well, this is what somebody's plan was." There was like 19 plans, and these people half got lucky, half got it right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this was the end result, is what it was. It's one of those things. It's like, just going in there and, well, it's disaster capitalism, is what it is. You go in there, you fucking fuck everything up, and then you pillage the resources that you can, and the rest of it, every little bit of it. But anyways, fuck all that, dude. Like, aren't we tired of that shit? Are we all not?
Buddy, I'm tired of buddy. I'm tired of everything.
Well, I want to hear about your plays.
I would love to tell
you about it. I would love to tell you about it.
Yeah,
wait, you were in a play?
I am in a play. It's this weekend. If anyone's going to be near Rugby, Tennessee, which is close to where I'm from, it's a lot of fun. And part of the reason I haven't talked about it, Carmen, I've been trying to gauge what Andy wants from me. All right, let me lay out what's happening, and then I can lay out that part of it. Andy is directing Sordid Lives, which is a Del Shores play that became a movie that kind of broke Leslie Jordan into the mainstream in the late 90s. It started Delta Burke. It's a basically gay Steel Magnolias. And what I mean by that is it so perfectly captures the nuances of Southern passive-aggressive and polite culture the way that Steel Magnolias did, but the themes are LGBTQ, but set in a small town in Texas. It became a movie that Andy's family fell in love with when she was in junior high and high school. And that in and of itself is a play. The fact that inside the home Andy grew up in, they're watching what is ostensibly an overtly pro-LGBTQ film, but the talent of Del Shores, the writer, and Leslie Jordan and everyone else in it just kind of, it doesn't glaze over it. Anyway, the play, the theme of it is, or the idea is that a matriarch has passed. She passed while her husband had died, and she's a widow. She passed while sleeping with a married man. And because she died in the hotel room, the town has found out. And so her daughters are dealing with the fallout of not only their mama's death, but also the death of their mama's reputation. The backdrop of it is their brother has been in a mental institution for years because he is a cross-dresser and a gay man. And they put him under the auspices of changing him into a straight man, but also that he thinks he's these people. Like he's crazy because he thinks he's Kitty Wells. When he doesn't, he's a drag queen.
Right.
That's who Leslie Jordan plays. That character's name is Brother Boy. And I hands down, I think it's one of the top 5 characters in the history of the South.
For sure.
Andy is directing it with the community theater here. They've had to change rehearsal spaces twice Once just out of predicted backlash, and another time because of actual backlash from the Baptists.
Oh wow.
I said to Andy, I was like, look, we can make it a thing if you want. But we kind of got to play the victim to do so. And in some ways, you are. You've been scrambling, you know what I mean? And she's always like, yes. But then when we get into the details of how we do it, so that's why I haven't talked as much about it, Carmen, is like, I'm not famous. I'm not trying to pretend I am, but I didn't want to get our and well-read fans fired up.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, but the paper did come and cover it. And so, and they put Brother Boy's picture, not on the front page, but on the second page. That was yesterday that it came out. So I'm still waiting to see how that is going to affect things. Rugby is a utopia from the 1800s where the houses have been maintained. And everyone who lives there now is a gay or a dork or a gay dork.
My God, how cute.
Yeah, it has one of the highest gay populations percentage-wise in the country. But that's
Damn,
because,
they meet at Palm Springs?
yes,
Holy shit.
But here's why. 80 people live there. Here's one for you. You're about to get really excited. Me and the mother-in-law, who just got stuck in the barn, she said she wants me and her to write this play. Here's the play within the play. One of the actors' uncles runs one of 2 flower shops in town, and he donated flowers to us. Well, the other flower shop owner has a worker who's dating one of our actors. He gets wind of it and is like, that's my favorite play of all time, and he used to act. Do they need any flowers? And they're like, well, they have some that were donated. He's like, well, let me see them. And he's like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and you need a sash or whatever. Now, in defense of the other gay man, he just said, come to my shop and get whatever you want. And I did it because Andy was working that day, and I had her on FaceTime. So it's not like him having bad taste.
He didn't curate it for you. Yeah.
But they have a rivalry, and we didn't know this. So now we're in the middle of the rivalry because they used to work together and they split apart. And potentially, I'm not sure, but potentially, maybe, and now I'm getting into gossip. I don't know if they dated or whatever because I think the other one has a partner. But we're in the middle of a very sordid lives situation. It's so fun. That part's so fun. And honestly, the Baptists.
Obviously, the name of the play is Battle of the Flowers. Like,
yeah, right. So, anyway, it's this weekend. The play itself is great. I play a bigot who's a drunk and he thinks he's macho and he's a veteran, but he's pathetic. And there's pictures of me out there now in the bra because there's this like scene that if anyone's familiar with the movie, I'm not like, it's not a spoiler. It's early on. 2 of the women, one of whom was cheated on, the other one whose mama died, get hammered and go on a rampage getting revenge on men.
mm-hmm.
Specifically and in general. And so that's how I ended up in a bra. It's genuinely one of the funniest plays ever. The movie is great.
I never saw it.
It's Leslie Jordan. He's not that young because he broke late, but from what I understand, Del Shores wrote it. Del Shores had 2 hits and had a deal where your next play, we're going to option it for a movie. And he literally wrote a part because he was like, Hollywood does not know what to do with my good friend Leslie Jordan. And now Leslie Jordan is borderline a household name, definitely a household face. Anyone you see that face, everyone's like, oh, I know him. But Hollywood didn't know what to do with this rotund little gay man with that accent until Del Shores showed them. I'm super pumped about it. I'm having so much fun. I get to be really funny in one scene, so that's like a blast. I've kind of been blown away by the cast. 1 or 2 people in particular. There's a woman in there who's funnier than me, at least in this play, maybe in life. Almost everything she says kills. And my understanding is her husband's into acting. She's like just into the arts in general, but doesn't really care. She just kind of did it because we didn't have enough people. I hope she gets hooked. I'm having so much fun. All right, sorry, I rambled. If you have any specific questions.
That was great.
Okay. If you have any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them now. Like I'm doing a press conference.
Well, this is the interview. This is how we muster up the intimacy we were talking about earlier. We get into the interview so people go see the play.
Andy was going to cast me as the quasi lead, and this dude narrates it as a guy who left his town and is like kind of making it as an actor. He's a gay man, and it's about like his inability to come to terms with his identity, which again, you're talking about Richard Jeni, now feels like everything you see, but this was late 90s. This was a gay man from Texas grappling with loving his family, but they're homophobic. And I was like going to do that. And then I was like, I want to be funny, Andy. And that's a lot of lines. And I'm very busy and you're very busy. And I'm really glad because the guy that is playing that guy is doing a fucking bang up job. And that one's the real emotional. And it's, anyway.
Let me ask you this. So the Baptist, where? If there's only 80 people in this town, where are they coming from out of town?
Okay, so Rugby is out of town, and that's where we're doing it, at their theater. And that is about 18 miles from here. The players, I'm going to get their name wrong, the Appalachian, maybe it's the Appalachian Players. The theater group Andy's involved in here is in Huntsville, the town I'm in. Mm-hmm. And Huntsville also, understand this, Huntsville's so small that really that's a county institution.
Okay.
So when the paper covers it, it's the county paper covering it. And the people in it are from various parts of the county. Both the florists are in Oneida.
Okay.
Town way. Up where the Walmart is.
And where's the other florist? Are both of the florists in that town?
Oh, they're 100 feet apart.
Oh no! This is a classic small town thing.
The part where I went in there, I called Andy from the parking lot, and I was like, "You said it wasn't the one I'm used to. This is where the GPS took me." And she said, "It's at the back of the shopping center. You're on the front of the shopping center." I literally drove around the florist to the florist. I went by an RV that's for sale.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you want to keep the themes, then it's sorted. Maybe it was like a closeted relationship that broke up, and I mean, there is a lot of meat on that bone if you and your mother-in-law write this play.
And I want it to go however Andy imagines it, but I selfishly want that to get messy. I want one of the florists to be like, "Oh, my flowers weren't good enough for you." And it to be like, no, it wasn't that. He just offered us a sash. Why didn't you ask me for a sash? Well, because I sent my stupid straight husband up there and I was super busy. I don't want Andy to have to deal with that. But selfishly, I want this so bad. Yeah. I want the next 5 days to relive the last 30 years of the 3 openly gay men in this fucking county.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my mother-in-law, it's really funny to think that the 2 people in a town full of conservatives who hate their lifestyle, vote against them, buy their flowers every time because they're amazingly well done and they're beautiful. Their worst enemies is each other. Oh, isn't that human?
Wow.
Isn't that human? What's your biggest hurdle in this town as an openly gay man in the South for the last 30 years? That other fucking bitch across. Now, that's not what they're like. I want to be very clear. That's not what they're like. But in my head, that's where we're headed. It's not what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's where the drama is, of course.
But it's also like
play.
One of them's niece is in the play. The other one, it's like if any of my coworkers were to hear me talk like this, I hope they would understand that I am admitting that this is like the darkness in me that wants this. I actually just want us to do a good play and all these people who live here and will continue to live here for decades to get along. But the darkness in me is like, but what if we don't? Because I think there's a feeling of like, yeah, dude, let's shit on the Baptists. We're going to have to fight them for the next 20 years anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not shit on the other gay guy. And I'm like,
But again, that's just because the conflict drives the story forward. I get it. You don't really want it in real life.
More fun than these fucking weak ass shitty Baptists driving by, won't show their face, screaming the F slur out the window.
Yeah.
Which I went to one wedding there. It was a gay wedding, and that happened. That's boring conflict to me. It's scary, but it's boring.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Well, yeah.
write the paper and hold up signs about how oppressed we are because we found out that they're doing a gay play 18 miles away. Now, to be
Yeah.
fair to the Baptists, most of them, they're like, huh? Okay. To be fair to them, that is, you know what I mean? Most people's response has been like, the what?
Okay. Yeah.
They're doing weird
What
shit in
now?
rugby? You don't say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Baptists that are like, that's what they do. That's
And
what
you
they
know
do
what?
over there.
If you're going to be that type of homophobic ignorant, I prefer you to have that personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not doing anything about it. Yeah.
It's not driving any sales, Carmen. It just ain't driving no sales, and they're leaving us alone. And that's what I was saying to Andy. I was like, look, I don't have PR skills. I have stir the pot skills. So, like, you know, I won't ever do this for myself, but for you, oh, yeah, I would pull up the mantle. We would really play the victim and the fighter out here. But we haven't done that yet. All right, we ran over, and I got to go. Okay. If you guys want to see the best comedian in Philadelphia, you can see her.
I'll be at the Wilbur Saturday, July 25th in Boston.
We're coming for you.
Stop doing that. And then New York City on, don't say that. That's not true. The New York City on Sunday, a 3 p.m. and a 7 p.m. show. If you want to hear what the
New York City.
Three guys on Reddit say I'm great, which I appreciate that. That was very nice.
I love how you're downplaying it while also saying it was 3 people when it was 1. That is such a comedian thing where you're like, don't say that. Just because 1,900 people voted for me doesn't mean, don't say I'm the best just because everyone in one, you know, it's like, well, it was one guy, but okay. I love it.
One guy, but he's got multiple personalities, so it counts as 3.
I will be in Birmingham. That show's free. It's I'm headlining, but I'm joining a show that has existed. It's a monthly show on August 7th. I'll be at Sports Drink, one of the coolest independent comedy places and just owners, Andrew, down at Sports Drink in New Orleans. New Orleans, August 8th. I'm going to Alabama and New Orleans in August. The least you could do is come out and support me, knowing that I might die of skin cancer.
Woo! Make sure you guys join the Discord and Patreon, patreon.com/gravybabypod. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Bye.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,